Hello underachievers! So, for some reason, I decided this video would be a good and fun idea. I'm not really sure why I do this to myself. I find it funny more than anything else, and I guess I'm just a bit curious as to what you guys wonder about me. So, today, I'm gonna be answering a bunch of uncomfortable questions. Just cuz. What happened to all the rats? I feel like this is a fair question. I haven't really explained what happened. If you didn't know already, I do not have any rats anymore. Sad face. But yeah, it's fine. They only last like 2 to 3 years. They all lived a long and happy life. But what happened to all the rats? So Alfie died first. He had a heart tumor. A tumor by his heart and had like a respiratory infection, which is like very common with rats. They either die of cancer or a respiratory infection. So that's how Alfie died. Scab died about a month later of similar kind of issues. We went to the vet. We weren't doing anything wrong. It's just what happens when rats die. They lived a good long life, and then Bean died last. And I don't know exactly what he died of. I'm pretty sure it was old age. He kind of just stopped eating, but up until his last few days, he was still running around, and then, you know, we had to get him put down because it looked like he was in pain. So yeah, that was how the rats died, and I have urns for all of them up there because we got them cremated, and they have their names on the urns. When was the last time you had sex? Yesterday. In the afternoon. What is the strangest thing that you find hot? Strangest thing? I don't know. I really like hands. Hands are good. I don't think that's strange. I guess I like it when men take the piss out of me, but not in a kinky way. I guess that's strange. Do you still have a cat? I never had a cat. Not once did I have a cat. Any thoughts on starting an OnlyFans? No, I'm not gonna start an OnlyFans. I feel like that's just not the route I want to take my career. Obviously, it'll be great to have the money from OnlyFans. I've had a lot of people asking me to make an OnlyFans because they're a bunch of weirdos, but no, I would not start an OnlyFans. I think if I had a I would be more confident starting an OnlyFans, but no, not for me. Nothing against it. I just, you know, I would rather focus on music and YouTube rather than charging people money for my nudes. Are there any creators you've met that you just really didn't like? Yes. Absolutely. Not a big amount. I feel like I'm very lucky that the people around me have already met the assholes and kind of avoid their general area, their general groups. But yeah, I've met a few that I didn't like. I've met a few that were like really cocky, really up themselves, really thought that they were the shit when really they weren't. And to be honest, I just really do not like cockiness. I think even if you're like the best singer in the world, you're the best YouTuber in the world, you got the most subs, I just find it really, really gross when people are really up themselves. So obviously there's a lot of influencers that are like that because people tell them every day that they're really important. Like, there's a lot of people that, you know, have no interest in befriending people unless they have followers, and I'm not the type of person to introduce myself influencer-based things and be like, hi, I'm Noahfinnce, I have this many followers. That's not the vibe. So yeah, there are some people that I don't like. But that's normal in any industry. What do you think about being called daddy? I don't know, I just feel the vibes aren't there. It depends on the context. I'm not uncomfortable with it, unless sometimes when I am. But I just feel like I'm 5'5". I'm a little guy. I don't know who is getting daddy vibes from me. I'm not giving off those vibes. So if you're somebody that says that to me, I'm just confused. Do you actually like p***s? Genitalia is gross. Yeah. Yes, I do enjoy it. I actively enjoy it. I like it. I don't dislike it. I'm not neutral about it. I enjoy it. I've never interacted with p***s I didn't like. Not much else to say about that. Would you accept money for having your feet worshipped / tickled? I guess it depends how much money. I've sold butt pics before, and I made a good amount of money from that to raise money for my top surgery. Would I accept money for having my feet worshipped / tickled? I have no interest in foot stuff. If I were to do this, it would purely be for the money. I don't have a foot kink. If someone was paying a lot, sure. Why not? But I also feel like it wouldn't be worth going to the trouble. I guess I wouldn't want to meet up with someone just so they could tickle my feet, unless they were offering me a lot of money. And even then, I'd have to tax it. Yeah, I mean, I would accept money for having my feet worshipped / tickled. What's my body count? Ooh, good question. So spicy. 2. Not very exciting answer. I have had sexual relations with 2 people in my whole life. I don't know, I feel like that's not unexpected. I don't feel like I give off the vibe of having slept with lots of people. I did not know how to flirt with anybody until very recently, and I'm still new to people finding me attractive. That's still weird to me. So, body count, 2. Why don't you want to I do. I guess it's kind of a complicated answer, and I did make a video about it a good few years ago, but I'm not sure specifically what I said in the video and how much I agree with it now. But like, I would love to have a dick. but I would have to have fallow, and I do not really want to, you know, get a skin graft from my body. You can either get the skin from your arm or your leg, and I don't want that big scar on my arm. I don't want that big scar on my leg. I don't want that big scar from, like, anywhere. Phalloplasty would be the surgery that I'd get if I was gonna get bottom surgery, and it's just, like, a lot. It's very intense. It's not just a surgery that people take lightly. Months of recovery, really years until every stage is complete. It's either done in 2 stages or 3 stages or 4 stages. I do not have the time to do that. I have bottom dysphoria, but it's not too bad to where I would undergo that amount of surgery and that amount of pain. I just, you know, I just don't want that. I would love to have a dick that works, but what I have works. I wouldn't want to risk the complication rate. There's like a 50% complication rate when it comes to like urethral lengthening. There's just like a lot of reasons why I wouldn't want bottom surgery. I do want to piss, I just don't want bottom surgery. I do not want to go through that amount of pain to get a piss because, you know, I function as I am. Do you have an active sex life? Yes. Next question. How was your first kiss with Corey? It was nice. It was cool. I did not know how to kiss. That was a learning curve. I had only had bad kissing experiences prior to that. I was kind of scared of kissing. It felt like a sensory nightmare, but it was good, you know. It was good. I hate to ask this, but I'll do it because you asked. What's your favorite thing in the bedroom? I like my blankie. I have slept with my blankie since the day I was born. Got it the day I was born. In terms of sex, oral is good. Third, giving and receiving. Fun time. This is so awkward. When wiping your butt, do you do it while standing up or sitting down? I stand up. I used to sit down, but now I stand up because I feel like it's easier to get a good angle. In there, you know, you gotta wipe away. And it's easier to do that when you're standing up and you go from behind. I feel like that's normal. Is it? Is it not? Let me know in the comments if that's how you wipe your butt. Do you like sniffing feet? No. I have no interest in that. As I said earlier, no foot kink. And I feel like I sound really defensive by saying I don't have a foot kink because I've said that twice now. But believe me, if I had a foot kink, I would not be embarrassed about it. But no, I don't like sniffing feet. I don't enjoy feet. They usually smell. You walk on them, they get sweaty. I'm not a fan of feet. I don't enjoy feet. Why would I sniff a foot? I sound even more defensive. No, I do not enjoy sniffing feet. Why are you low-key obsessed with how you look and take hundreds of pics of yourself every day? It's a fair question. When you say I'm obsessed with how I look, I'm not sure I agree. I feel like I am like overly critical of every aspect of my life, including my looks. So I take a lot of pictures because if I take a picture and I look bad in it, I have to keep taking a picture until I look good, and sometimes I don't look good. So I just have so many pictures of myself because I have a lot of phone storage and, you know, I can. But it's also, I think, because like this is my job. A lot of the time I'll post a lot of my stories, and if I have nothing to post, I'll have to take pictures, and I also need pictures for promo, I need pictures for press, I need pictures to post on my Instagram because that's my job, I need pictures for brand deals because that's my job. So like, I need a lot of pictures of myself. I just have a lot of pictures for various reasons. Are you uncomfortable with people seeing you as a boy with a vagina? Yes, because I don't think of myself as that. I guess it's not inaccurate, but gross. The idea of that. I don't know. I'm just a dude. I'm just Noah. I hope people don't just see me as that, because that's kind of gross. And why are you thinking about that? You've never seen me naked. I could have anything down there. Do you think your relationship with Corey has gotten worse over the years? No, I think it's actually gotten better. Isn't that terrifying? Almost 4 years. That's terrifying. Did truly no one see your chest before the teat yeet? Yes, not on purpose. I remember when I was a child, my brother dragging me somewhere and my top went up and one of my friends saw the teat yeet. Not the teat yeet, the teat. I was like 12, so I don't think that counts. But yeah, no one saw my titties. Corey did not see my titties. My friends didn't see my titties. When I woke up after surgery, you know what I did? I showed everyone the only picture of my titties I ever took. When I went in for surgery, pretty much you go in, the surgeon draws on your titties in Sharpie, just like where to make the incisions, trying to figure all that out. So he drew on my chest and I was like, you know what? After today, I'm never going to be able to have a look at my titties again. I'm not going to miss them. But you know what? Maybe in 10 years, I won't remember what my titties looked like or they felt like. So I was like, now is the time to take a tit pic. So I took a tit pic and then I woke up after surgery high as hell of painkillers. And I was like, hey, Corey, want to see my boobies? Want to see my titties? And he was like, no, you don't need to show me. And I was like, no. I don't have them anymore. Look at my tits. So I showed him my tits. I've showed several people pictures of my tits. I just find it really interesting. That's weird. That's not normal. But I guess those are the friends that I have, where I can just show them pictures of my tits and they're like, ah, tits. It's also interesting because I had inverted nipples before top surgery, and I think they look kind of funny. They look like sock puppets. And, you know, they weren't just slightly inverted, completely inverted. And now I have nipples that stick out. So there's a lot of reasons why I've shown people my tits, but no. Before I had top surgery, nobody saw. Nobody saw even pictures. Nobody saw anything. Do you like apple? No. Kind of just painful. I just don't enjoy it. And, you know, I poo a lot. So that entrance not entrance. I think it's an exit. Are you really a bottom? You know what? See, I just don't really know what a bottom means because I'm not some massive, like, sub. Like, oh my god. I don't know if that's what being a sub is like. But, you know, I don't have the equipment to physically... You know what I'm getting at. I know I've said over the internet for years that I am, but here is me coming out as not a bottom. When did you lose your virginity? Story time if it was wacky. It was the summer of 2018 and it was with a friend. I had like a friends with benefits. We just had a little, you know, little thing. There were no romantic feelings involved. I had just started testosterone and I was really going for it. I was like, I am so undeniably horny, like so much. It was ridiculous. It was almost painful how horny I was. But you know, how did I lose my virginity? It was just with a friend. Just with a friend. We went to a concert and then went back home and then, you know, had a bit of a play. And then that happened a good few times. And then it stopped. And I'm still friends with him. It wasn't bad. It was fine. I felt comfortable enough. So I was 18. Yeah, I was almost 19. Is it difficult to have a partner with the lower parts that you want / advice to cope with that? At first it was just because I was insanely jealous. I was like, how the hell have you got that? Where's mine? Where is it? So in that sense it was difficult, you know. I was just really jealous and I was really insecure when I first started dating because, you know, I hadn't had top surgery yet. I was only a few months on testosterone. There was a lot of things that I had not just, you know, I had not gotten over, but it was difficult then. Advice to cope with that, I just communicate, I guess, how you feel so your partner knows. I don't struggle with it now. I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame I was not gifted with a willy, but like, no. That's fine, you know, it works. Don't you feel cringe at the fact that your whole adolescence is on the internet? Yes, I do. I've already deleted a good few thousand Instagram posts. But yeah, there's a bunch of videos on here that I'm too scared to watch. And maybe I should probably delete. Don't go looking for them. But yeah, I think it's real cringe. I feel like at the age of 15, you know, maybe some 15-year-olds, not all, are not entirely aware of the consequences of their actions, or they're not entirely aware of what's appropriate to say on the internet or not. And I definitely did a good few silly things on the internet. Luckily, none of them were like crazy bad. Don't worry, I did not hate crime anyone. I did not do a racism. I didn't do I didn't do the homophobia kind of thing, but there, you know, there was a bunch of stuff that I wish I hadn't said. And yeah, there's a good few pictures that when you Google Noahfinnce, I wish they were not there. I do think that's cringe, but like, again, like, if I didn't do that, if I wasn't posting back then maybe I wouldn't be where I am now. So can't be too mad about it. And you know, don't kill the cringe part of you. Kill the part that cringes. That was a quote. I did not make it up. When you were considered a woman, what was your favorite part about yourself? See, I had a thought about this, and it took a while, and I realized it was just my eyes. I would just take a bunch of pictures of my eyes, because that was like the only part of me where I was just like, oh, they're cool. Undeniably, you have good eyes. If you could only do one sexual thing to someone forever and have one sex thing done to you, what would it be? Oral. It's always a good time. Just both ways. Giving and good. Do you thirst after your followers? Absolutely bloody not. Jesus Christ. I got this question and this one made me uncomfortable. This one was like, bleh, bleh. But yeah, no, there is nothing less attractive to me than somebody who, you know, is like, not even necessarily a stan of me, but just like, I don't know, someone that's like a fan, or like someone who really enjoys my content and they watch my videos every week. That's just like not, I do not want that out of a partner, or a hookup, or a kiss. I don't want that, because the idea of somebody following me for years and seeing the stuff I posted years ago, not that necessarily any of it was bad, but the fact that they were like there, and I was unaware of their existence and they were aware of mine, just like, no. That would never be on the cards. Even if I wasn't in a relationship, that just like, no. And there's like the whole power imbalance. I've seen a bunch of celebrities talk about how they like sleep with their fans, and that makes me really uncomfortable. That's like a red flag to me. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that, because I feel like it's abusing some kind of power imbalance. I just think that's weird. But no. Do you thirst after your followers? I'm sure some of you are attractive, but just the idea, no. Absolutely not. How much money do you make a month? I could not, it changes every month, is pretty much the answer to that question. YouTube can range from like 3.5 grand to like 6 grand a month where I'm at the moment. And then there's like, I make money from Snapchat, I make money from brand deals, I make money from music, I'll make money from merch and tours. So I have an accountant. I kind of get stressed looking at money and it scares me. The taxes scare me. I pay my taxes, don't worry, but just I know nothing about money. I know nothing about how taxes work. I know nothing about any of that, so I tend not to look. But like, Yeah, it depends on the month. If I'm doing really well on YouTube one month, then I will get more money that month. I feel like that's kind of self-explanatory. But I would not be able to give you an answer for the exact amount, because it changes all the time. Are you and Corey in an open relationship? An open relationship, as in we date other people? No, I would not be able to handle that. I would not be able to handle having another partner. That sounds like so much effort. No hate to people that are in open relationships at all. I admire that you're able to do that and put in effort to like this many people. I get overwhelmed with life in general, so I can't imagine having like 2 romantic relationships. Do you find it harder to trust cis people over trans people? No. I guess it's harder to trust cis people not being transphobic than it is for trans people to be not transphobic, but there are transphobic trans people. I feel like sometimes I trust trans people less, just because when I meet people, there's like a good portion of the trans people that I've met will know me from online, and it's not that I don't trust people that know me from online, but you know, I've experienced a lot of people sucking up to me or wanting to be friends with me purely because I have a platform, or wanting to be friends with my friends to get to me, or just like being really rude to my friends because they want to be friends with me. So like maybe I trust trans people less. I don't, but like there's, you know, I'm in a weird position. In terms of transphobia, yeah, I guess I trust trans people more to be less transphobic, but like I don't think in general, no. When you fell for Corey, did you ever think being trans would prevent him from loving you? This is an interesting question. I can't exactly remember specifically how I felt back then, but like he's bi, so I wasn't worried about that. I think I'll say no. I think I was just insecure in general, and every worry that I could possibly have, I just had, but I don't think that was a crazy big one. I think I have a tendency to just worry about everything and any situation, and I feel like I make up situations in my head to be stressed about, even though they would never happen. I feel like maybe that was one of them, but not significantly enough for it to be like significant. I'm just gonna say no. Would you ever do No. Here's a situation where I would. If I was born with a dick and if I didn't have an audience, then maybe my answer would be different. I still think no. I still think that's something that I would not be able to handle, because like when I'm not in the mood, I'm not in the mood, and nothing is gonna put me in the mood. So that would be a difficulty. But right now, obviously no. I'm doing music, I'm doing YouTube, that's just not... It's not part of my career. Why are people so obsessed with your weight? I honestly, I don't know. I made a video a few years ago talking about my weight and talking about the fact that like I was underweight and I wanted to gain weight, and it was difficult for me to gain weight because I have like a lot of food things. I have very many sensory issues. I probably have some kind of eating issue. Not great, but I've recently gained a bunch of weight because I started going to the gym and working out and eating better and eating healthier, and a lot of people have noticed that because I've been talking about that a lot, so I guess it's my fault that people care about it because I talk about it. But yeah, I don't know, I've had a lot of weird questions recently. A lot of people will ask me specifically for my BMI, for my weight in kilograms or stones or pounds. The questions for this video, a lot of them were asking me what my weight was, and I used to give it out, but then I kind of realized that nobody benefits anything from me giving out my weight, and it also may just make people compare themselves to me, which is like not helpful at all, because everybody is built differently, everybody has a different metabolism. Just because I'm 5'5" and weigh a specific weight does not mean that you need to weigh that much, because, you know, we have differences in body composition. Maybe, I don't know, I just feel like it's not worth mentioning. But like, why are people so obsessed with my weight? I guess because I talk about it. Where's the weirdest place you've taken a piss? I feel like I've not had really crazy stories. I mean, a few days ago, I was coming back from Brighton because I played a gig in Brighton, and I just could not hold it, so I asked my tour manager to pull over on the motorway so I could take a piss. So I guess that's the weirdest place I've taken a piss, was a few days ago. I just fully squatted on the motorway, got my ass out, bare cheeked it up. I could not hold it at all. Didn't bother hiding myself in front of a good few cars. So maybe that's the weirdest place I've pissed. Was your period really heavy? Yes, very, 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 very heavy. I have been on medication for it since I was like a young teenager, because I would like, it would be so heavy and so painful that I would pass out, I would throw up, I'd be dizzy, I just could not, it was just not a good time. I had a really, really big struggle with periods, and it sucked. But yeah, they were really heavy. Like, very heavy and very painful. I would have to take a few days out a month. Sometimes I'd spend the whole day at school in the health center, and not because I would, like, try and use it as an excuse, as I'm sure, like, a lot of people haven't. I feel like that's an idea that people have. But yeah, I was, like, my periods were real bad. Have you ever been arrested? Technically, no. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this, but oh well. There was this time a few years ago where there was this girl from my old school who was posting on Facebook about the Black Lives Matter protests, and, you know, she was all live matter buttering it up, and I posted a screenshot, blocking out her name, blocking out her profile picture. There was no way that anybody could access any of her social media, but I posted a screenshot of it and was like, oh my god, this horse girl from my school is an All Lives Matter girl. Posted that, thought nothing of it, was kind of just like, hey, this sucks that one of my best friends when I was younger turns out to be racist. And then, long story short, I was going to my mum's house because it was her birthday, and turns out this girl lives on the same street as my mum, and I accidentally turned up at her house because I couldn't find my mum's house because she had just moved there. And there was a bit of confrontation. Nothing bad happened. Her dad was just like, are you here? Are you here for us, Noah? And I'm like, I don't know who you are. So I asked my mum, hey, do you know the neighbors over there? And I brought my mum over because I was like, maybe you introduced me to them and I didn't remember, and I feel really rude not saying hi and remembering who they are. So I brought my mum over, and they were just like, yeah, we're the so-and-so family, dropping their name. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I got a call from the police saying, like, hey, you don't want to get done for harassment, don't turn up at her house. And I was like, hey, Mr. Policeman, I did not mean to turn up at her house. She lives really near my mum. And he was like, oh, that makes sense. And I had to apologize to him for being like, hey, I'm sorry you got involved with this because this is ridiculous. And he was like, yeah, it is ridiculous. So yeah, I've never been arrested, but I've had the police called on me because a girl didn't like that I thought she was racist. It may not have helped that I was with Corey when I accidentally turned up outside her house. I'm sure that didn't help at all. Do you watch gay or straight? Both. I am bisexual. The good stuff is good. The bad stuff is not, but both. Do you ever feel scared of trying to explain transitioning to your future kids if you decide to have them? I'm not scared about that. I feel like by the time I have kids, I'd have already thought of that. So no, that's not something I'm worried about. Okay, that was the end of the video. Thank you for the uncomfortable questions. I hope they made you equally uncomfortable as they made me. I don't think any of them were really that uncomfortable. Try harder next time. But yeah, have a good day, I don't. See you later, losers. Goodbye. Punchy time.